Buddy, this is Eddie coming to you with another video here. Excuse me. Been away, been sick for a couple days, so finally getting over it. Just got done with the gym and did me some running and some sweating, and if you see the camera shaking, that is why. So anyway, still want to try and get my message out here today, and the message that I have today is it ties into, again, something that I've recently read. And this is in a book by T.D. Jakes, who's a Christian pastor and an author who has tons of books, very helpful. And this one's geared towards men. This one ties into boiling points. And when I reread this, it's probably like the third or fourth time, and get something new out of it each time. But what I read on it this time was him talking about boiling points and talking about a man who had exotic fish. Didn't have a family, but had a big tank, exotic fish. Those were his family. Invested in the top of the line equipment and goods to make sure his fish are taken care of for when he traveled, because he traveled quite a bit. Well, one thing that had happened was when he came home from one trip, the fish had died. And when that had happened, what he'd figured out was the control, or the piece of equipment that regulated the temperature, had allowed the water to get too warm, or he didn't set it, or something to that extent. And one thing that he thought about and started thinking about after coming home to this was, did the fish scream? Did they feel the pain? He was hoping they didn't, but if they did, oh man, how would that suck when nobody hears your screams, and nobody hears you when you scream for help. And that ties into people nowadays. And sometimes when we do that alone, and through my experience, personal experience, is our own fault. And what I mean by that is, what happens is, one thing happens. This is where the snowball effect starts to happen. One little thing, a bad day, then that carries over into the next day. It could be a relationship, it could be work, it could be finances, an unexpected bill, who knows, an unexpected death. And what happens is, we adjust. People check on us. No, we got it taken care of. I'm good to go. And before long, all these things start to add up. All these things start to build up. And the whole time, as things are going on, our friends, our family, our loved ones, others see that you're starting to lose part of who you are. Starting to get to a point that you're not exactly who you are or who you're supposed to be. And when they reach out to you, you kind of politely and unknowingly kind of set them aside and, no, I'm good to go. And then you start secluding yourself. You start drowning your fears, your pain in food, alcohol, sex, even praise, seeking praise. And you can also drown it in work. And recently talked to somebody and said they were working their butt off, and I asked if they're working their butt off to avoid the other issues that are going on in their life, and this person said, yeah, actually, unfortunately, yeah. So what's happening there is you're adding more pain, you're adding more discomfort, more displeasure by working, and then when you get home, guess what? All the other things that were there before that you're trying to ignore are still there. So then it builds and it builds and it builds. And then what happens is you hit that boiling point. And when you hit that boiling point, many things can happen. And in the circumstances that I relate it to, it can be, you can lose a relationship out of it, a positive relationship. You could walk away from a job that you probably shouldn't have walked away from. That could have been the best thing for you. There's so many things that you can do. And unfortunately, what I've seen in many cases, is somebody just unwilling to share what's going on in their lives, not finding a relief, not finding an outlet. And I've seen many take their own lives, and not trying to bring people down, but this is reality. And those of you that have been watching my videos, this is real. Just happened again the other day, as being told that this woman's son just had 2 friends that have taken their lives. And it is real, it is out there, and I'm still going to push forward with this. So what do we do when we start hitting that boiling point? One thing that Tony Robbins expresses or explains is, a frog, you put it in hot water, it jumps right out. Why? Because you're going to extreme temperatures. But you put a frog in water, slowly start turning up the heat, bit by bit by bit, it adjusts. it adjusts, it adjusts, it adjusts. And before you know it, it's in water that's too hot for it, that it will not get out. And what happens is you reach that boiling point. Could be the loss of life, could be the loss of a relationship, could be loss of a career. The list is big. So what do? What should we do? We should reach out, read, write, exercise. I just got done working out. I hate running. It's not so much I hate running, it just hurts. It hurts. But so does lifting weights. But every single time I go to the gym, I run. Why? Because the benefit of running far outweighs the pain that I go through just by running. And to me, that's well worth it. To me, it's well worth it. And because of that, I can walk away rejuvenated. A lot of stuff goes to my head. I sit there, you should hear all the name calling I call myself when I start hurting and want to quit. But I get through it. Do incantations like Tony Robbins says to help yourself get through it, but get through it. So don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be too proud to seek help. Write stuff down. Send it to somebody. Email it to me. Email it to somebody else, to a friend. Simply state, I'm emailing you this. I got some shit going on. I don't want you to solve my problems, but if you can read it, just read it, and that's it. And sometimes knowing the fact that somebody reads it and responds and says, hey, I got your back, I'm here for you, continue writing more shit when stuff comes up. And excuse my mouth, but that's exactly what it is. That's it. It's real. So anyways, today's a great day because it's the last day of school. So my son's stoked as hell because he's going to be a 5th grader after today, and my daughter's going to be an 8th grader next after today. So they're both going to be the big dogs in their school next year. So they're looking forward to summer. And for everybody else, hope you guys have a good day, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are when you're watching this. So you guys take care. Go to eddieaguilar.com, subscribe. I got a piece of literature that I've written that I will happily send to you, which is going to be given out that is going to be written in my book and put in my book. So if you're interested, go to my blog, subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.